Hi guys! Happy wedding planning powwow day. I love Wednesdays. Wednesdays are a lot of fun because I get to do this and I get to come on Instagram and go live and chat with you guys. And today I'm really excited. A good friend of mine, Laura, is going to be joining us. And I just saw her pop in here, so let me see if I can add her. Let's see. Hope it works. Yay! Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for doing this with me. I'm
so excited.
So pumped. And I just think that it's really cool that you and I get to be like in this whole season together. Being like wedding planning and being photographers and all of that is really, really fun.
It's so fun. And like it's so funny to me. I think we got engaged exactly a month apart and we're getting married almost exactly a month apart as well.
So funny. Oh my god. I love it.
It's so nice to like finally be here because I feel like all of our talks revolved around this for a long time.
Waiting for this time period. It's finally here. And I'm just like soaking it all in. Like every second I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Yes.
So can you, just in case anybody who doesn't know you, can you just share a little bit about who you are, what you do, and all that?
Yeah. Like Jen, I'm also a wedding photographer and a brand photographer for creative businesses. I live in northern New Jersey, and I've been doing it since 2013. So me and Jen became friends on a coffee date in like 2014 or something, like way back when we started, which is so fun. And then my other business is just creating workflows and systems and teaching creative entrepreneurs how to have a better business and better life and better balance.
So good. And I personally be a testament to your workflow skills for all that you have set up for me in Honeybook and all of that. So I feel like naturally wedding planning is going to be very systematized and on target for you.
Trying, maybe failing at it, but
oh my gosh, well that's awesome. Can you talk a little bit about like what you've planned so far for your wedding? Like what are you envisioning? What things have you like nailed down?
Yeah, so I'll backstory this by saying I was shooting an engagement session for one of my couples. This couple, so amazing. They did 4 engagement sessions, one in every season, and their summer engagement session was at Red Maple Vineyard, which is in New Paltz, New York, in Hudson Valley area. And I literally pulled up and I just started crying. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this place is amazing. And like I've definitely never reacted like that to a venue before. And then they got married there a year after that session, so I got to shoot a wedding there, and I was like, oh my gosh, everybody is so nice and this is so beautiful. And it was June, which is my wedding month, and I was just like, this place is amazing. I really want to get married here. And I just thought there would be no way. Like in my head it was so nice. I was like, there's no way this is going to be affordable. And most of their clients I feel like come from New York City, so it's just higher budget. And I was just like, I don't know about this. So but I reached out and it was like literally comparable to everything near me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So we literally didn't even visit it together because they were Scott was just like, oh my god, I like totally trust you. Whatever you want, you know what we both like, that's totally fine. I was like, okay, well, that's awesome, but I want you to see it. So they weren't letting people come visit it until I think it was March, because they were under construction. So the reception space used to be a tent, and now it is a glass and timber barn. And I'm like freaking out. Like I was gonna book it because I love the tent too, and like now I'm like, oh my gosh, this is even crazier and awesome. And so they wouldn't let people come see it until they were like almost done with construction. And their policy was to not let people sign a contract unless you book a tour. And I was just like, can you just be an exception, and can you break your policy for me? And so they did send us a contract, I think in February. We got engaged December 1st, and they sent us a contract in February, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So we have the venue, and I was like really nervous because they were like weren't answering for a while because like they were on vacation and then I was and they were, and I was like, oh my gosh, please answer me. Just like I need to know a date and like move on. I'm in such bad lighting right now. Like I need to move forward so that I can book other vendors before my wedding season starts. And so got that on lockdown. We're June 19th, 2020. And then after that, actually before that, I think I booked my photographer, and I was just like, I'll let you know the date when the venue answers me. And it's my friend from Georgia. I think that's been like, you can attest to this, it's like the funniest / kind of most annoying question, like who's gonna shoot your wedding, as if there's like not 5,000 million amazing wedding photographers in the world. So funny. And I'm like, okay, well I guess like everybody else's feed isn't filled with beautiful wedding photos like mine from all my friends, but yeah, so I booked her, and like it came down to just personality and commonalities, and I had Scott talk to her too. I was like, I want to make sure they get along, and because there was just like literally 10 people that I was just like, okay, it could be any of these people, they're all amazing, like you included. And I was just like, I can't choose between friends up here. And then she loves elephants, tacos, fire pits, and mountains. And I was like, oh, we're the same person. And her name is Laura. So she is flying up from Georgia, and super, super pumped. So she's gonna shoot like the whole weekend, which is awesome.
Oh, nice.
And then I booked my videographer, which is Willow Tree Films, which I'm so excited about. I love working with them. I booked makeup, and hair is like verbally booked but not contracted yet with Michelle. And then florist I do not have yet, and we booked a DJ. That was like the craziest part to me. So we reached out to a band, and I got a quote for $21,000, and I almost fell off of my desk chair. So booked a DJ that I love working with. I've probably done 15 weddings with them, and they're amazing. But that's pretty much like where we're at with the planning process. We're figuring out ceremony stuff this weekend, hopefully, and all of that logistics. Like that's probably the hardest part to me, because we're just trying to like make everybody happy with the ceremony, and it's just been crazy. But I was like, Scott, please help. This is not a vendor, so like you are in charge of this, because that's kind of been the back and forth conversation of, you know, how much do you want to be involved in planning? And his response is, I want to be involved as much or as little as you want me to be involved. And he's like, you know all the vendors, I trust you with all of that. Once you want help, just let me know. So that's kind of where we're at. So
that's pretty good. I mean, I feel like that like covers all the big things.
Yeah,
pretty much, at least vendor wise. But
yeah, I really wanted to be done before the bulk of our wedding season starts.
I wanted to do that also, and yet somehow I'm like, well, here I am, and I'm not anywhere near.
Yeah, I think I said to my mom last night, I don't know how people not in the wedding industry plan weddings, because it's overwhelming in the wedding industry when you know, have a full-time job, and it's just crazy. So I think the best part of being in the industry is like A, knowing the vendors, and B, not having to meet with like a dozen vendors to see who you like. So I'm like, oh, I already know I like you, just send me the contract. Because I can't imagine that.
That's huge. Yeah, because like even thinking about, and I feel like we get like a little snippet of that obviously like through, you know, like our clients where, you know, consultations and stuff. But like I forget that like, oh my gosh, they have to like meet with everyone.
Yeah.
And it's like multiple different, photographers, multiple videographers, multiple florists. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of work. I think that alone is like a monster piece of it.
Yeah, I don't know how people have all the time to be meeting all the time with people. I feel like that's why people get so stressed with wedding planning. It's like the first couple months is just like meetings until like the big things are booked.
Yeah. Crazy. Did you, so I know you like had in your head for Red Maple Vineyard to start, but did you like look at any other venues or like anything like that, or?
No, I feel like I just didn't want to waste time. I was like, well, I've shot over 100 weddings at this point, so I've probably been to about 85 venues. None of them gave me this feeling, and this is like within our budget. And there's one by me, Mountain Creek, or like Red Tail Lodge, which is awesome because it's on top of a mountain and it's great. But I designed it, and like, because I used to be an interior designer, and I also used to work there, so it kind of just felt like too close to home.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know, I don't want to like, I would feel like I'm like working,
Yeah.
Which is weird, but yeah, we didn't visit anything. I had done like tons of research on the knot though before we did it. I was just like, I just want to make sure that this is it, and I shouldn't be looking at anything else. But this one was great because it was an hour from Vernon and an hour from where Scott's family lives. So that was just like a huge bonus on top of all the other ones were like beautiful, but like 4 hours away.
Right. Yeah. I feel like I mean, we didn't really go see any other venues aside from Fernbrook, but like I had a massive spreadsheet of like 40 different venues of just like things I was looking into, and it's like, yeah, the distance between like things that I was like, wow, this is amazing. It's like, well, that's like a 2.5 hour drive from me, and then my family's even further south, and it's like, like I don't want it to be a destination wedding, so I had to like reel in like things like that where I, was like, oh, that might not be a big deal, but then it's like, kind of.
Yeah. How far is yours from where you currently live?
It's just about an hour, like
nice.
But it's like an hour from everyone. It's like an hour from my parents, an hour from Ryan's parents, an hour from me. I'm like, great,
yay!
Right,
everybody's happy.
But it's funny too, and like you're saying with the like Mountain Creek Lodge one, where it's like I feel like for me, I didn't want to have a wedding at like anywhere that I've shot before.
Yeah.
Which obviously makes things
that limits things
quite challenging. It's like, but I felt like I would have a really hard time like separating that, even though like, I mean, I think it's a little different when you're even more layers deep of involved, but but it was nice because I still got to experience Fernbrook because my best friend got married there, like, what was that? Oh my gosh, like 4 years ago now. Yeah. So I was like in the wedding and got to like experience it from like the other side point of view.
Awesome.
And I was like, wow, this was like great experience. Like you were saying about Red Maple, like everybody's so nice and just like everything was really smooth, and I was like, okay, so good.
That's awesome. What I like loved so I knew this from a vendor standpoint, and they didn't actually tell us on our tour because we ended up doing a tour. My parents haven't seen it yet because they were on vacation, or like they had my dad's business conference, so they couldn't come up, but Scott's whole family came and they all loved it. But when we went on the tour, I was just like, do you guys tell people about blah blah blah? And they were like, no. And so as a vendor, I know that Red Maple has a nonprofit that they started in Costa Rica, and it's a community center where all of the people who are preferred vendors, which I'm a preferred vendor there, they donate just like a set rate. If Red Maple refers you and you book the wedding, you donate, I think my rate is like $150 or something like that per wedding to their nonprofit. And
so cool.
they built this whole community center in like rural Costa Rica, and they like change focuses every year, and this year their focus is teaching women in the community how to run small businesses. And I was just like, oh my gosh,
That's amazing.
I was like, this is my favorite thing ever. So I like love being a preferred vendor there, and they didn't even tell us this on the tour, and I was just like, wait, tell Scott's family about this because it's so awesome and amazing. And so they do work trades, so they bring people from the community up to Red Maple to like work the farm and work weddings and like teach them skills with working and farming and everything, so that they can go back and bring that to their family and their community, which I just loved that so much. And they did just so many cool things, like with their employees. They have a employee education fund, and all of the add-ons that they have available for the wedding, like the fire pit or the beer canoe or the farm tables or anything like that for the reception, 100% of the cost goes into an employee education fund, and then they send their employees, like their like more full-time employees, to, so like they have so it's a vineyard, they just have a wine cellar, and their sommelier, like their wine person, they just sent her to Spain to like learn about winemaking and vineyards and stuff in Spain. And she was like, it was so great, and like it just came from the fund of like people's upgrades and stuff. So I just love how much they pour back into the community. And like obviously, like we co-lead, so that's like a huge part of our lives. So I just thought that was so cool and fun.
That is so cool. And I love stuff like that because then it makes you like feel really good about like, okay, yeah, let's do this fire pit because I know that this is for a good cause too.
Yeah, exactly.
Really cool. I love that.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Yay. Oh my gosh. What would you say, like, so far has been like the hardest part for you and like the easiest part?
I think the easiest part was probably the venue and photographer. Well, no, photographer wasn't the easiest, just because I was just like, oh my god, I have so many people that I love. But then like once we talked to her, I was just like, oh my gosh, no brainer. So I think the venue was probably the easiest. I think the hardest is just like me, like trusting that Scott is okay with me taking the reins on things, because I just like, I never want it to feel like it's just my wedding and my plans, and I'm doing all of this unless he wants me to do all of it. So I just like keep double checking. I'm like, are you sure you're okay with me like booking this or doing that? And he's like, yeah, I'm like totally good. And I would say also like the guest list, that was really hard, because Scott is probably the friendliest person I've ever met in my whole life. And he as like, it's just insane. He has 37 home friends that we're inviting. I have like 4. He has like 18 college friends, and we had to like cut people too. That's like after the cut. So it was funny. Just like insane, and I wanted to be around like 180ish, and hopefully we will with RSVPs, but we were at like 215 on the A list and like 297 total, and I was just like, oh my god. I was like, this is like slightly traumatizing, and just like all these people that I didn't even know existed of like extended family started coming out of the woodwork, and I'm like, what? Like, we've been together for 7.5 years. I've never even heard of this person. Right. And, they live on the other side of the country or something. So, like, I just have never seen them. And he was like, well, we're, like, really close. And I was like, I didn't even know they were in existence. So it's just, like, hard, like, finding the boundary. And it's hard for me to, like, justify that, even though it's, like, super important to their family that they are invited. But I'm like, that just means like people who we are really close to and talk to really often don't get to be on the A list, and that I think is like really, really hard for Scott. And I'm just like, we have to cut it off somewhere. We can't have like a 300-person wedding. So that's probably been the hardest.
That is, yeah. I feel like we haven't really like 100% solidified our guesses. We did like a rough like brain dump of like, okay, let's just see like general range like when we first started, because I'm like, I don't even know like capacity or minimums or anything like that for these venues. Like we need like a rough idea. So, but like I haven't revisited it since then because I'm very intimidated.
It's very intimidating. Yeah.
And it's also like, I mean, like even doing it like the first time around, I was like, oh yeah, I think that's everybody. I'm like, oh, I forgot my best friend. Her whole family, like, duh. Like, you just, it's like so hard to be like, okay, who's everybody that like I care about? Put them on a spreadsheet.
Exactly. And like the way I did it is by group. So I'd be like Laura's immediate family, Laura's extended family, Scott's immediate, Scott's extended. And then I had like a few friends that weren't in like a group of people that were just like totally miscellaneous that I like forgot, but like the first time around, and then I looked through and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I literally talk to them every day, and I was just like not like didn't fit into like a bucket per se.
Right.
So I was just like, oh my gosh.
It's hard.
Crazy.
It's very challenging.
Yeah. But hopefully everybody we want to be there can be there.
Yeah.
And it was like crazy to me. Are you Friday or Saturday? Or Sunday?
Saturday.
Yeah, so our venue was literally already booked up every single Saturday of all of 2020 by December 2018.
That is like wild.
Okay. So we are Friday.
Holy moly.
Yeah, which I'm like, okay, maybe that'll mean that some people will not come. But I think the other hard part, which we figured out this week, was just like how much time to take off. I know this is probably one of your biggest struggles too, because originally I was like, yeah, we're gonna go on like a 3-week honeymoon and we're gonna go to Australia and New Zealand, and then I started getting like really amazing inquiries, and I was just like, oh no.
I know.
It's so hard. Is so hard. But then Scott helped me justify. He was like, Australia and New Zealand is going to be winter in June, so we can go in our winter, and that way you don't have to give up all this work. Because I was like, this could pay for our honeymoon for me to like take more work in July and end of June and stuff. And so we decided that we're going to go away in winter instead, and he was good with that, which was a huge relief. He's like okay with anything. He's so easygoing. But he coaches soccer in the summer too, so he was like, yeah, I would have to take off 3 weeks of soccer. And I was just like, okay, so we're going in winter, which is good because neither one of us will be working like our second jobs and stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
Have you guys figured any of that out?
Well, I like blocked off, I think about like 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. So, which is like the most amount of time I literally had to put like a big orange line through my calendar, like, don't book anything for wedding stuff, because you know me, like I would fill that up and be like, oh, my wedding's tomorrow, I can do a Friday wedding, no big deal. Like, what are you doing? So I had to like really mark that out on my calendar. But we haven't really figured out like where we want to go, but we do want to do like some kind of all-inclusive thing, just because like figuring out what to eat for dinner is probably like our biggest struggle of our entire lives. Every day, like, what are we making today? It's like, I don't want to deal with like any of that when we're on our honeymoon. And plus like for me too, like thinking about just like the way that my mind works, when it's all inclusive and everything's like already paid for, then I'm not like, but if it wasn't, I'd be like, we shouldn't like splurge on that. Like, let's just say, like, maybe not get a drink right now or whatever, just to like make sure we're not going overboard. But like, if it's already paid for, it's like, okay, whatever. Let's just have a good time and not worry about it.
Yes, exactly.
So, mentally, I feel like I need that.
Yes, totally. That'll be our our downfall, because I doubt there's anything like that in like New Zealand, Australia. But we're gonna do like a mini moon, for just like maybe 3 or 4 days or something, like
Yeah.
somewhere close-ish, like Key West or
Yeah.
Caribbean or something, because it's so easy to get to. So we'll do that in July, and then go on an adventure in the winter.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I feel like that's good, but like if we were gonna do some kind of like trip, like New Zealand or Australia or anywhere that's like not an all-inclusive thing, having that space in between, I feel like is because
actually plan.
Yeah, like whereas if it's like right after the wedding, I feel like I would be overwhelmed and tired and just like it would probably be like really haphazardly put together because it's like I don't know, trying to figure out everything else.
Pack for this 3-week trip. Yeah, it's like too much. I can't even like pack for going to Scott's and a wedding. I'm just like I can't compartmentalize all the different things I have to pack for. So yeah, it'd be a disaster.
Too much. Yeah, but so I'm hoping I want to do like at least like a week and a half trip, if not like a full 2 weeks. But because it's like when else are we gonna do that? Probably never.
Exactly.
Like I could really I could justify this right now. Like we could take a really long vacation and do all this stuff because it's like when else? Once in a lifetime. So yeah, I'm excited for that. But I feel like for me, I mean, we've locked in a good amount of like vendor wise, but there's still like some things that are like up in the air. But I feel like what is like overwhelming to me is like I don't know like what else do you have to do after you book your vendors? I don't understand.
Same.
I'm like, I mean, that's a huge major part of it, but it's like I like don't know what I know there's other stuff. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. I made I'm gonna sound crazy. I made a workflow for a wedding planner. Like she was like one of my clients, so I'll give it to you because maybe that has some like checklist things of what we need.
Oh, good. Yeah, help me, please.
Yeah, my mom got me a wedding planning guide, and she's like, "You're probably not gonna use this. You'll probably just like use Asana or something." But I feel like that has all the like little detail stuff of like pick your napkins and like pick all this stuff that I'm just like I don't know what I need to do. So I feel like once I have the vendors booked, then I can like start using her like paper planner and stuff. And my intern keeps saying like, okay, so we're gonna pick like one day a month where we're just gonna like plan fun wedding things. And I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going dress shopping tomorrow.
You are?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, where are you going?
So bridal and tuxedo in Lafayette Village, New Jersey. Lafayette, New Jersey. So excited.
Oh my gosh.
I'll send you pictures.
Yeah, I need details.
I feel like this is one area that I'm like totally clueless.
Oh, yeah, completely. Like, I just did like a quick first try on of anything at David's Bridal, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed already. Like, I don't even know what the heck I'm looking for. But it was good to just like, okay, I need to like rip off the Band-Aid and like make it not as overwhelming. So just like put some stuff on and see how it goes. But
yeah. Exactly. Somebody just put a question in the chat. Hang on. Annie, I see your questions. Okay. Any tips for having an outdoor tended wedding and good ideas for bridesmaids gifts? Is your venue a tent?
Yes, it is.
Take it away.
So I feel like we're pretty lucky, which is one of the reasons why we ended up deciding on Fernbrook. But the outdoor like tented reception area, like the tent and everything is already included in the venue. And I really wanted to have a tented wedding because I wanted it to still feel very outdoors, like not like I have to go outside to be outside kind of thing. So I was like, okay, I really want a tent. But then a lot of the venues that I liked didn't have tents. So you would have to separately rent a tent, which then just like things got out of hand. Yeah. So I feel like looking and keeping in mind places that have the tent included is enormous and very helpful, because then that takes out the element too of like one extra vendor to hire and like one extra moving part to worry about and things to get set up and coordinating all of that. It's like, it's here and it's a tent and it's everything I want. So that is huge. But I mean, other than that, I feel like that was the big one for me.
Yeah, for me, because my venue used to be a tent, it's now like just a permanent structure. It's a barn, but it's still indoor outdoor, so it's just like a sliding glass wall that spans like the whole thing. But I think just sprucing up like the ceiling, either with drapery or bistro lights, we're totally going bistro lights, but from the photography standpoint, just like bistro lights add so much to reception spaces that don't have like uplighting and stuff like that, because you can't really uplight a tent.
So good. Yes, 100%. That's like,
I love it. I love bistro lights.
Atmosphere. It's so pretty.
I know. Scott just bought bistro lights for his house. I'm like, when can we put them up? Can we put them up this weekend? Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yay.
And Annie, good ideas for bridesmaids gifts. I don't know.
I mean, you know,
Jen, this is your forte.
I'm like, okay, really obsessed with this. So I'm not gonna give away all my details yet because I haven't given them out. But one thing, if any of my sisters are on here watching this, don't look. Turn it off. Pause for a second. Okay. This is one thing that I've been working on, because I actually am so I'm having bridesmaids and then also house party members. So like house party is more of like a Southern tradition where rather than bridesmaids, it's kind of like you have other tasks and things that you're like helping with throughout the wedding day. So this is one of the things that I just made for my sisters for their house party gift. Oh, these little frames. And that's like a picture of all of us. So cute.
My gosh, that's so cute.
So this is part one, but anything with gifting is like my favorite thing on the planet. And
we're gonna have to chat.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
I need help with this. We'll have to have like a Santa's workshop for my wedding party. Like Scott was saying that he wants to ask all his groomsmen with like custom beer bottle labels and stuff that say like, will you be a groomsman, and their name on it, and like, I don't know, stuff. But all of my bridesmaids literally live in a different state, and I like had really no preparation time from getting engaged, figuring out who the bridesmaids are, to seeing them. Like, it's just like totally random spur of the moment, like, oh, you're all of a sudden on the East Coast and we're in a kitchen together, so I'm just gonna like ask you, or we're driving up the highway and I'm just gonna ask you. So I like literally didn't do anything for asking my bridesmaids. I've only asked like half of them, but I'm like, I'm not good at it. I'm good at it with my clients, not good at it with like my personal life.
Yeah, I would say, like, for me, like thinking through any kind of gift, so my like first thing is that like I don't want the gift to just be like another like random thing that like is gonna sit in a cabinet or not get used. So even though there's so many cute like different mugs and tumblers and all these things, I'm like, okay, my cabinet is literally overspilling with mugs. Ryan won't let me have one more mug. So I'm like, okay, let me try to think of different. So my kind of thought process on like figuring out gifts and stuff is like, okay, so what is the point of the gift, and like how do I want them to feel, and kind of working backwards from that. So I did this thing for my sisters. I like wanted it to feel like really special, and like, you know, my sisters are like, we have I've got 4 of them. There's a lot of us. So, but like it was really fun growing up with so many sisters, and I just wanted to do something that like really kind of was special to that specifically, rather than just generic. So I would say avoid just like going down the rabbit hole of all the cute like things that are already everywhere, but try to think about like your people specifically and like what would mean a lot to them and stuff like that.
I love
That would be my best advice.
It's such good. So good.
I love gifts.
Oh, I can't wait to like brainstorm all this with you.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well,
And
let me know
I
because
second
I'm
the mug
down.
thing. Yeah.
What?
I second the mug thing. I'm pretty sure every engagement gift we got was a mug or a champagne glass.
Mm-hmm.
Some type of glassware. I literally have like all of these, and then the rest are like in my guest room because I don't have room in the kitchen cabinet or my bedroom anymore.
I know. It's hard. It's like they're so cute and it's very
I
tempting,
know.
but I have to like reel it back in and be like, okay, wait. Let's see.
Yes.
Rachel, one of my brides, hi Rachel. She said she got denim jackets with everyone's names on them and figured they would use it. I would die of excitement for that. That's such a good idea. That's really cute.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
Oh my god. Yeah, but that's like I just think doing things like that where, and I also was trying to like think of things too where it's like I'm not gonna put like bridesmaid on it because even though it's like that's really fun and exciting for right now, I don't want it to be like, okay, a year from now, this thing is irrelevant and I don't want this. So
totally.
I love that idea with the jackets with their names on it. Oh my gosh. I won't. So fun. Oh my gosh.
Cute.
So Laura, from your experience, can you share a little bit about how, like, what it's like being a vendor and now being kind of like on the flip side of this kind of wedding experience?
Yeah, so I'll give you like positives and negatives. Is that okay? So I think like the best part definitely is knowing the vendors and not having to meet with people, like meet with multiple people. I guess I still did meet with everybody for the most part, but I didn't have to meet with like 10 people to decide. But I think I really wanted to go with people who I like connected with on a personal basis. So I think just like anybody listening, I think that's so important to just like fully trust your vendors and have a connection with them. That was really like mostly important for me with my photographer since I'm going to be with her like all weekend. And for the engagement session, we're doing a destination session. So I was like, okay, like we need to like travel well together and everything. So I think like that part has been amazing. The part that has been like hard, I don't know if hard is the right answer, but like surprising, I guess, is like how many people have no system and like still do things on paper. It's like, here's this paper contract, and I'm like, what? I was like, I need to like go to the mailbox and like go mail this back to you and then like email you to see if you got it. And so that part was just like kind of unnecessarily stressful because I had that with three or four vendors. And I was just like, this is crazy. Like, why am I still mailing things? There are programs that help with this. But overall, I just feel like it's good. I think the hard part is focusing on my own wedding because like you and I both are just like so focused on serving our clients so well and making sure they're just like fully taken care of and have no stress. And I'm just like, I need to take some of my own advice and do that. But luckily my photographer sent me her wedding guide. I don't have my own one printed. We have the same wedding guide. She sent me hers and it's like on my dresser, which is good. I definitely need to open it and just like I need to like start taking days off in the middle of the week because like as you know we literally work like 7 days a week. And my mom actually asked me today, she was like, do you want to take any weekdays off just to like not work? And I was just like, no. She was like, maybe you should and you can like wedding plan. I was like, yeah, maybe. So I think that's just like the hard part is just like feeling guilty about working on my own wedding when there are 30 couples that I have that are like need to be served, but they're all like it's like funny because my couples will like yell at me like, oh my gosh, like just take a break and relax and work on stuff or whatever. And I just want to be able to like celebrate with all of them. They've all been amazing. I think that was a really fun and unique part, and I feel like you experienced this too. It's just like all the like showering of love from couples that in the past and future and everything, and everybody's emails are always ending with like, oh, how's your planning going and everything. So that part has been super super fun. And like a couple of my past couples are on our guest list, which is fun, and it's just so awesome. I just like love our industry so much. We're just around happy people all the time, and I really just wanted that for our wedding. I was like, I want happy people that are just going to be like invested in our story and just us as people. And I feel like that was like kind of hard because our vendors knew us, so it was just like we didn't really get to share a whole lot on like consultations or anything like that because I was just like kind of assume they know everything already, and it's just like, oh, we know you guys, here's the contract. And I'm like, no, I want to like tell you all the things. So yeah, it's like pros and cons. It's taking longer than I thought it was going to, just because I haven't prioritized it. Like originally, I think both you and I were like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have it planned in like a week, and it's gonna be great. And then I was like, oh no, I have 30 other weddings to do.
Yeah.
But I love like stalking my photographer's Instagram and her blogs and like showing her to everybody that will listen. I'm just like, look at this engagement blog that she just posted. Oh my gosh. So really she keeps like texting me. She's like, we need to talk about your own engagement session. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. But we're gonna do it in Colorado. I'm very excited.
Oh my gosh. That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
When are you doing that again?
August 1st. So we're going to go from the leaders retreat for Tuesdays together. So from Minneapolis, and like she's rooming with us, so you'll meet her, which is awesome. So she and I will go from there and meet Scott in Colorado.
That's awesome. Oh, so fun. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like it's like a blessing and a curse to like be, I'm like, part of me sometimes I'm like, I wish I just got married before I knew too much. But then on the other hand, like, you know, it's amazing because I like know personally all of the vendors that I want to work with pretty much, and like things like that where it's like, wow, that's going to be like really extra special to have, you know, these people be a part of our day. Whereas if I didn't know them, wouldn't be a thing. But then, like you were saying, with like other people's systems, like it's very hard for me to like separate and be like, I would do that differently. It's like, hello, what are you doing? You're the client
like,
here.
Not comparing. I'm like, why didn't you send me a confirmation when you got my payment?
Like, it is definitely, that's probably one of my biggest challenges is like, okay, like, stop.
Yeah.
You can't like keep like trying to interpret everybody else's business and all that kind of stuff, because it's just, you know, it's hard when we're in this day in and day out and it's like, well, I do things this way. It's like, okay. But it's hard to let go.
Is definitely the hardest part, is just comparing your back end to other people. And I think if for anybody who's like watching this or rewatching this, if you are in the wedding industry, I think I have now seen from the client side how valuable it is to be in not like constant communication, but like pretty often communication, because most of I don't think anybody has really reached out since I signed the contract, and that was like probably 4 months ago that I signed most of the contracts. So it's like, okay, sign the contract, here's my money, like, see ya. But I feel like it's just so important and valuable to just be talking with them often and just like checking in, like sending one email. It's just like, hey, like, how's everything going? Super easy to do.
I will say too that it is like, not only is it super fun to be in this season like at the same time as our clients and be planning our weddings, like when this is like once in a lifetime that we'll get to like do this together. But then it's also just like really valuable experience being like put in the shoes of a client instead of, you know, just always seeing things from, you know, our business owner standpoint. It's like, okay, yeah, like some of these things that I, you know, do are definitely like that means a lot and that's valuable, and I would feel good about like, you know, having that kind of experience as a client. And or like different things where it's like, oh, maybe I should do something a little bit differently, or, you know, maybe I thought that this would work well, or that this makes sense in this whole grand scheme of the wedding planning process and things, but it, you know, just gives you good insight of like things to tweak and change. And
yeah, totally. I agree.
sure. Yeah. But yeah, this is so cool. It's very unique, and I'm like trying to just like sit in it like while we're here.
Yes. You know, it's so hard to do. It's so hard to
It's very hard to do.
Slow down and embrace it.
Yeah. But I like, knowing me, I'm so weird, but it's like I just always feel like really sad when things are over, like when Christmas is over and like I know that's gonna come again next year, but it's like, oh man, like I was really looking forward to that. So like I can already feel like, oh man, I know I'm gonna be like sad when this season is over. I mean, at the same time, it's the start of a whole new season, so there's like more to it, but it's just like, you know, this is one of those things where you look forward to it for like your whole life. And it's just like, holy crap, like it's right now. We're in it right now.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Has Ryan been helping at all with the planning process?
So there's definitely, I mean, I feel like similar to Scott, he like trusts my judgment, like vendor wise and all that. He's like, I know, you know, these people. Like I trust you to like, you know what's good for us. But he's definitely has like certain things that he's like really excited about, and, you know, certain things where he has like more input and things. Hopefully he doesn't watch this because he'd kill me if I admitted this out loud, but he has a Pinterest board where he pinned like some suit ideas, and I was like, I didn't even know I love it. That's so cute.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh, I love it.
I know. So he's like trying, like there's certain things that he's like really excited about and into. So like, you know, picking out a suit and his like detail stuff is exciting for him. And like we also like really want to take dance lessons because
us too.
Really? Oh
yeah.
I don't know like where to do this or whatnot, but like I need a lot of help.
Yes. I wonder if anybody like does it in group things, because that would be so fun for us to
that would be
to dance lessons.
So much fun. Yes.
I need super passionate about the first dance.
Yeah. Ryan like was like, how about this song? How about that? And I'm like, okay, yeah. I love it.
That's awesome.
We want to have like some kind of choreography going on, but I also just want to first take dance lessons in general to like I was like, before anybody tries to teach me anything crazy, like let's just get down like the rhythm first.
Not the worm or their flossing for me.
I'm like, I can flail on the dance floor with the best
I can
of them,
shout.
but beyond that, it's like, okay, like I'm just helpless. So we've been looking into trying to figure out something. Like there's a couple of things like on Groupon where it's like, oh, like, you know, ballroom dance lessons, or like this gives you like 3 lessons at this place or whatever. So I feel like we might try out like 1 or 2 of those places just for like general teach me how to like move.
Yes.
But but then we were thinking about doing, you know, more of the choreography for first dance. Ryan's sister is like an amazing dancer and does like choreography and stuff, so we were thinking about asking her, but I'm like, she's probably gonna be ready to kill me because I like really need like the extra help. Like it's not good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
yeah. we talked about that last night, or not last night, last weekend. We were just like sitting out on the porch, and our first dance song came on YouTube, and he's just like, I really want to like have it choreographed. He's like, I don't know if this song is like good for that. I feel like it's not fast enough, and I was just like, it doesn't necessarily have to be fast. And he's just like, I just don't want people to like come to our wedding and watch us just like, sway back and forth. And I was just like, I mean, that's fine too. It makes for great pictures. And he's just like, I just feel like we could do better than that. I was like, okay, I'll let you take the reins on this. So he wants to like mix songs and like start with that song. I won't give it away, but we'll like start with that song and then like find another song to like transition into for like the choreographed part. So I was like, I need like some good slow dancing pictures for photos.
What song are you guys thinking
of? Eyes on You by Chase Rice. It's like country, but not. It's like not very country. But
oh wait, I think I know it. Yeah.
It's like the one where he's talking about traveling all over the world and, there's no better view than when my eyes are on you type of thing. So I was just like, it's very fitting because we've been to like 16 countries.
Yeah. I love it. That's so fun. Oh my gosh.
Have you guys talked about songs yet?
Yes. So we actually found this song. Oh man. It was like on a TV show that we were watching, and we were both just like, oh my god, I love this. What is it? And then we were like, okay, maybe this could be it. And I like it because now I can't even think of the name of it. Because it's like not a song that like you hear all, because I was like, I don't want it to be like, one of the typical songs that I hear every week. I feel like with a lot of the things, I'm like, I just don't want it to be like the same as things that I'm doing every weekend, because it's like, okay, we gotta like really make sure we're like focused on making it feel like us, and so make it different. But called, oh man, I can't think of it. I'll have to send it to you. I don't even know what it's called, but I really like it.
Love it.
Yeah. And I feel like it's maybe like slightly faster than like a normal slow, but it was like, I feel like but with choreography, I feel like that like they can do choreography on anything. So
I agree.
I'm not worried about it because I'm not coming up with the choreography. That is for sure.
That is something I will not try to control whatsoever.
Like, just somebody needs to tell me like what I need to be doing, but that I'm not gonna come up with it.
I put this foot here. Okay.
I can't even imagine. That would be so rough. But I feel like doing things like that, like I want to do the dance lessons and I want to do choreography because I feel like it'll be like a fun thing to work on together. Where it's like, okay, we're doing this now. Like, not just be so caught up in all of the like we have to make our seating chart and things like. Okay, let's like learn how to dance together.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Scott tried to. So we were in Spain. This is when we were studying abroad, and we went to this place that was doing like salsa dancing and salsa lessons and stuff. And we're like, yes, we're gonna take salsa lessons. And we're like super gung ho. And then we got there, and I swear to God, all these people could have been on Dancing with the Stars with their salsa-ing. And I was just like, what? And like these people were nuts. It was crazy. And I was just like, okay, clearly they salsa the dance like every single day, and they are all from here, and they're really good at this. And so me and Scott just like stood in the corner, and we were like, we're just gonna be over here watching.
It's cool.
It's like so embarrassing. So definitely need those lessons.
Yeah, like I need like one-on-one tutoring here first off, but I mean now I like get ahead of myself because I'm like, we could do dance lessons for swing dancing and salsa dancing and all of it. I'm like, this would be so much fun. I know, right? I'm like, but I'm like the least coordinated person ever, so I'm like, okay, but like, will this be fun? I don't know. It sounds like a good idea, but
exercise. Kind of.
Yeah. Oh God, so
Yay.
funny. I love it. Awesome. Do you know what you are gonna wear for your engagement photos yet?
No idea.
That's
Not cool. I think I might do something similar to what you did in Iceland, of like a neutral top, because literally my whole closet is like neutral lacy tops, and then like a either blue or pink skirt or something like that. So I think I'm gonna look at Beholden and do like a 2-part thing, and then a more casual one, because I really want, if Laura will let me, my photographer, I'll probably do like, and if Scott will let me, more realistic. I want to do like 3 or 4 outfits, because I think that will be in like really different locations. So I want to go into Rocky Mountain National Park. So I just kind of want like a different outfit in the mountains versus the forest. So I don't know if you've ever seen that Pinterest. It was like not viral, but it was just, it pops up when you type in like engagement photos, and it's this couple, and it literally looks like they did all 4 seasons, but it's all in one shoot, because it's in Rocky Mountain National Park, and it's like sunny in one, so they just have like shorts and t-shirt, and they're like walking through a river, and then they're like all fancy in front of the mountains, and I'm like, oh, totally want to do that, but I just don't know what it'll actually be yet.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be out of control beautiful. I can't wait to see
I'm excited.
You should also check out Morning Lavender. That's where I got my skirt from. And they have like so many good things that are like that kind of style.
Yes.
Love it. Oh my gosh. I have no idea what I'm gonna wear at all.
Do you know when you're doing it?
June 24th. So I'm like, okay, this is like now 2 months away. I should probably.
Okay, so we are gonna do the 21-day fix together.
Yes. That, and I also like always procrastinate trying to figure out outfits and stuff till like the last second, and then I'm ordering 15 things with rush shipping and not. So I'm like, what? I had all of this time. What was I doing? That's exactly what happened before Iceland. I was like, we're getting our photos taken. I'll figure it out when we get to it. And then next thing you know, it's like, we're leaving in a week, and I didn't figure out my outfit yet. Okay.
Yep. Oh my gosh, that just made me think that I'm gonna have to like find hair and makeup out there, because I don't know how to curl my hair, as we know from all these United States where I look like Mufasa.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's true. That's a good. And you know what's funny with Iceland? I ended up. It all worked out fine. I love our photos from Iceland, but because I am. This is like the extent of doing my hair. This is it. So I'm like, I don't know what the heck to do. So I thought I was being really smart, and I scheduled a haircut for the day that I was leaving, because we were flying out at night. So that morning I got my haircut, blowout, looked great, and I was like, cool, I just need to like sleep nice on the plane, and we're doing our shoot like the second day. So it's like we were there for a half a day, and then the next morning we were doing our shoot. So I was like, all right, this is like manageable. And then I was also thought I was being prepared by like bringing my little like travel steamer and stuff. Didn't realize the plug difference, so I was not able to touch up my hair because it like started to like come undone. So, and the stores in Iceland didn't open until like 11 a.m. and we had to be at our shoot at like 9. So I was like, all right, so I guess this is it.
But they look so good. I would never know unless you.
It all worked out, but I had to like braid a piece because like the front was all like messed up because it was like a little misty, but I was like, oh, I'll just straighten it, like curl it, whatever, like just touch it up. Nope, touch-ups were not an option. Getting the wrinkles out of my dress was not an option. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was so prepared.
I will. That is a good point, though. I should bring a steamer. Luckily, the outlets are the same here as
we'll
New
not have
Jersey.
to worry about that. Yeah, but yeah, that's a good point. Like finding hair and makeup over there.
Yes.
Good call.
Do you have a selfie light on?
I have. How do I flip this? Oh, I have a lamp that I have taken the bulb off of to put here because this office is like so dark. I only have one light in the corner. I need to get a new light like for this corner because it's like doesn't do much. So for my powwows, I have put my little table lamp here, but I had to take the shade off because with the shade it's like still so dark. Sorry guys. Technical difficulty. Okay. Hopefully this time it'll work. Ooh. One of these days I'm gonna get the hang of this Instagram live thing. Okay. Having Laura back. Hi. Sorry.
Yay.
They like sometimes do and sometimes don't give you like a countdown when they're gonna like shut it off. And this time it didn't. So like, oh, okay.
Yay. Well, I feel like we covered a lot of stuff unless anybody has questions, but
Yeah, that was really good.
covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we did. That was really fun. I feel like I hadn't gotten like full updates on everything going on, so this is good. And I can't wait to hear about dress shopping. Let me know how it goes.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm clueless.
Yay.
Hi, Dory.
Hi, Tori. Are you still at the baseball game? Are you tuning in from the baseball game? Oh my gosh.
She's good.
Yeah.
Yay.
She's loyal. Thanks, Tori. Cool. Well,
thanks
this was
everybody.
awesome.
Thanks, Jen, for having me.
Thank you for doing this with me. This was super fun.
So fun.
And I can't wait to follow along with the rest of everything going on and hear about dresses and all the good stuff.
I know. You should send me your engagement outfits when you have them.
Oh, yeah. Same.
Good motivation. And I'll see you in the 21 Day Fix group, hopefully.
Yeah.
I gotta go literally buy my Shakeology like tonight. Yay.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Jen.
All right. Have a good night. Bye,
You
guys.
too.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Oh. Sorry, guys. Trying to end it. Bye.